Traits that you dislike about your partner are actually the traits that you need within yourself. Now, projection shadows are from the word projection itself. It's when you unconsciously bring something out that is within you and then you see it in other people. Now, projection shadow is basically shadow, right? Shadow is the unconscious material that you have within you that you dislike, and then you're afraid to show it to people. You're afraid to show it to your partner, to your wife, to your loved ones, because you're afraid that if you do show it, then you will not earn love or you will not earn respect. That's what men fears of. That's the projected shadows. Now, an example of this, it looks something like this. If I were to explain in my own experience, let's say you are okay. No, let's just give a brief general example of how projected shadows can happen. How can it occur in your day-to-day lives? An example of this would be, let's say you are selfish, but then you're in self-denial that you are actually selfish within. But when other people are more self-centered, you actually are triggered by that. You dislike the fact that other people is self-centered or is selfish as well. It's just like you having selfish and you looking at the other person being selfish as well. And then you hate that sort of selfishness in the other person. But little do you know that selfishness is actually within you as well. And you're in denial of it. You don't like the fact that you're also selfish. So that's unconscious, right? You don't know that you're selfish. That's why you're unconscious of it. You're not conscious, you're unconscious of it. And when you're unconscious of it, you're not aware that you're triggered by these emotions. You're triggered by these traits that you see in another person. You're afraid by it, right? Based on my experience, this is actually my ex. She was this assertive person. She was very decisive. She was very... I see that masculine energy coming from her, the way how she decides things. She's very stern and very rough on things, very assertive. And I realize that every time I'm in an argument with her, or every time I sense some sort of masculine energy, this assertiveness, this decisiveness from her, I feel threatened. And that threatened is not a minor thing. Like, I truly feel that threatened feelings within me. And when I do get that threatened feeling, I sort of got mad on her because I don't have that assertiveness in me. Do you understand what I'm saying? My ex, whenever we're in an argument, she showed me her assertiveness. Because I don't have that assertiveness trait in me as well. I sort of got angry at her because I don't have it in myself. Because I didn't like how she was... By the way, sorry if you hear some background noises because there's a construction happening right now. But just try your best to follow my words and listen to my words carefully. I didn't like the fact that she was assertive because I couldn't handle assertiveness myself. I couldn't deal with my own perception of assertiveness. And that's very hard. And when I cannot be assertive as well. I sort of got into the mode where I didn't want conflict to happen. Now, again, this all relates back to wounds, to fears, to childhood trauma and stuff. That's where like the root cause of all this trait came from, the one that you're unconscious of. And when I look back and when I think about it, the experience that we have is actually affecting our wound. The experience that we have will affect, the experience that we have will affect how we are today. The experience that we have will shape how we act, how we move, how we talk, how we communicate with people today. Now, that's, of course, that's obvious, right? But what's not obvious is that where the experience came from. That's why, for point number 2, I'm saying to you that we have to trace the root. We have to trace the root. Because, okay, my ex was assertive and I wasn't. And we need to really think back, okay, I didn't feel good when she was being assertive. Is there something in me that I need to reassure to myself? Is there something in me that I have to be assertive myself as well? Why couldn't I express my assertiveness as well? Why couldn't I have boundaries? Why couldn't I have a healthy boundaries towards her? Why couldn't I be decisive as well? Why couldn't I lead and reconnect with her in a way that I don't lash out with her assertiveness and I don't react to the triggers that she gave me? What is that? And so I learned that my nervous system doesn't want to be threatened. And that nervous system is controlled, again, by the boy within us. The boy within us, right? You have to feel him. Now, if we're looking back to my experience, I felt like the boy within me was actually trying to protect me from that threat of her being assertive, because her being assertive feels uneasy to me. And because my body feels uneasy, then the boy inside me will feel like it's this survival moment where we have to fight against the dragons, right? We have to fight against the enemies. Like the partner was the enemy. The assertiveness behavior in my partner was the enemy. That's what my boy felt. The boy inside me, the boy within felt, because he's pretty immature. He just feels that assertiveness, that emotion, just that feeling from someone, and that someone expresses that feeling in a way that is perhaps, with a tone that is not great to hear, perhaps with a yell, perhaps with a scream, perhaps with that assertive tone in her. And so the boy felt dangerous. The boy felt sense of danger around him. And so what will he do? He will tell our nervous system, okay, we don't want to get into conflict. We don't want to do this. Let's create a defense mechanism. And how we create a defense mechanism is the boy trying his best to actually lower the intensity of the conflict between me and my partner, which can go by a lot of different things, right? If the boy cannot express assertiveness back then during his childhood wounds, during the childhood events, and he gained this childhood trauma, then he will try his best to create this defense mechanism that is not matured at all. That's why a lot of relationships these days actually are not successful, because the boy itself is unhealed. And an example for that is people pleasing, because the boy is trying to lower the intensity, trying to reduce the intensity of the fact that she's assertive. And how the boy creates defense mechanism is by how the boy reacts when the actual physical boy, which is myself a decade ago, go about in that certain moment. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm just gonna say it. Okay. My mother was a perfectionist, right? I'm gonna just link it back to my own childhood wound. And every time she shows some kind of this perfectionist behavior, both indirectly and directly, I notice now, not back then, I notice now that the child in me, the boy in me, actually receive that energy, that signal that whenever I do something, it has to be perfect. If it's imperfect, then I will get anger coming from my mom. Then I will not earn love, because it's like this transactional thing that I have to be perfect in order to earn love. Now, a mother can directly or indirectly show this perfectionist behavior. An example from mine is that my mother, every time we're in the kitchen and we're washing the dishes, just that small little dirt that is still left in one of the plates can create a huge problem or a huge mess, right, in the family. My mom would yell and would not scream, but like disapprove of me, of being imperfect. So my boy is like, okay, if I'm not perfect, then I can't earn love from my mom. I can't earn unconditional love, compassion, and warmth from my mom, and comfort. And so I have to create this false mask, to in order for me to earn love from my mom. And that shapes how I act to my partner today. Again, linking back and forth. Every time I'm in an argument, I don't want to have an argument. Why? Because I want everything to be perfect, right? That's my belief system. If I don't get everything perfect, if I don't maximize herself, if I don't get everything perfect in a relationship with no conflict, then I will live a happy, healthy, wealthy life. And so, if I do get into a conflict, my nervous system will be like, oh no, something is imperfect here. This is not right. This is not okay. Why? Because our nervous system is controlled by the boy within. The boy within is controlling and owning our body, is getting this like communication, this two-way communication between the boy inside us and our brain. And when the nervous system says that it's not safe, if there's a conflict, it's not safe, then the boy will control our body by creating this defense mechanism of either people pleasing or manipulating. Because let's say I cannot, I become a people pleaser because of my perfectionist behavior. Well, you understand this one, right? Let's say, yes, I do please her because we're in a conflict, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I did this, I did that. It's basically blaming myself in order for me to please without having boundaries of knowing my worth, knowing my values, and embracing them. I didn't know that. And then if I don't have that, if I don't have values, I will please them. I will not stand up for my own values and my own worth because I felt that I'm unworthy to have this imperfectionism, because I want everything to be perfect. You understand what I'm saying now, right? And if still, okay, let's say I please her, but if it still didn't go well, what will I do? I have that fear of imperfectionism, right? But I already pleased her. What am I gonna do? The boy inside us is immature. Remember, the boy inside us is immature. The boy inside us is immature. If you're immature, you will just react to things, right? You will not have control of your own emotions and your feelings. And what will the boy do? The boy will react by manipulating, or the boy will react by guilt tripping the person. Because after you please the partner, and the partner still doesn't actually lower the intensity of the conflict, if your partner is like a very assertive human being, and they keep on lashing out to you, then the boy within you will be like, okay, what? Pleasing doesn't work? Oh, I'm mad now. I'm angry. And so what will the boy do? Is the boy will turn to manipulating, to becoming a manipulator, to guilt tripping the person. Okay, you know what? I felt this, and you didn't do that, because I'm really, really hurt because of you. Because of you, I cut myself. Because of you, I isolated myself because of you. It's actually your fault for not doing this to me. Do you realize how much you've been hurting me as well? Do you realize that I am also hurt because you said this, because your tone was increasing because of this, because of that? You turn into that person that will blame the other person. Now you're still in self-denial, right? That's the trait of you that you don't like, so you're triggered by that. And then so you do everything that you can not to expose yourself, because you fear of exposing yourself and telling the truth that you want to be assertive, that you want boundaries, right? Being assertive doesn't mean it has anything to do with that negative connotation. Being assertive means that you're decisive, you have embraced your values, and you also have what it takes to actually have healthy boundaries between yourself and your partner as well. And when you don't have that, when you are not conscious that you have that in yourself, that you're worth that trait, then you will turn into this angry person after you please the person, right? And so the problem with the men today is that a lot of them actually are unconscious of this. That's why they walk in and out in relationships not knowing what to do, and just getting into another relationship, just ascending and not integrating any of the archetypes that we talk about, not healing the psyche, the soul, the heart within each and every one of them that has a boy to heal within. Lastly, in order for us to be conscious of it, in order for us to understand that we have those triggers that we have to heal today, those emotions, the feelings that can actually ruin the relationship, right? We have to heal it. Now, before that, I have a program down in the description below. You can master your shadows, you can heal the boy within. I will show you how exactly you can heal the boy within, so with those emotions and triggers, you can be conscious of it in your day-to-day lives. And what happens when you're conscious of it, right? You're actually more calm and you're more grounded when you're in a tense situation with your family, with your wife, with your partner, with anyone else. You can also see the shadows within you and how it occurs in your day-to-day lives. Like, let's say in addictions, right? Let's say addictions, in your anger, right? Like, why are you angry all of a sudden? Why you cannot break out of this habit, this addiction? I can show you personally, because I'm going to do a weekly group call with each and every one of you, with yourself, and actually open up the struggle that you've been facing in your life today. If you want to become the hero, then link down in the description below. You can check it out. It's pretty cheap. I don't charge it for a big price, because I want a lot of people to heal the boy within so they can become a hero for this generation and for the generation next. Become the father that you want to be. So after we know how our emotions, how our triggers come up, we want to do the higher action, right? We want to actually not do that. And in order for us to actually not do that is by healing the wound, right? We have to heal the wound first, and then we know how to go on about it in our life. Now, healing the wound has different stages, but I'm just going to show you the stage that is the most simple stage that I can explain in this video. Again, if you want to know more, link in the description below. You can join the program and we can talk and we can dive into each and every healing stages that we can do so you can become the hero that you're supposed to be in life. One of the healing stages can be first recognizing, right? You want to recognize your wound. You want to know that you want to notice your triggers. You want to know what is it that you're triggered by, which is my assertiveness, and when. You have to know what and when, and you have to write it down as well so you keep record of your triggers. What is it that came up that triggered you, and when does this moment occur in your day-to-day lives? Perhaps when you're in an argument with a person, perhaps when you notice that little thing about that person that you dislike, and then you're sort of triggered by that. You have to find out. And after you do that, you want to name and acknowledge it. You want to name that, okay, I dislike this assertiveness in this person, and so probably I also need some assertiveness in myself. I need to have boundaries in myself, right? And acknowledge it. Know that this is something that you have to fix. If it's not, then you cannot go smoothly with the flow in the next steps. After you acknowledge it, what do you want to do? You want to do, of course, you want to do the higher calling, right? Every time you notice those triggers, those projected shadows to the person, every time you notice something that you dislike about the person, you need to think to yourself and be conscious of it. Okay, I dislike this thing about a person. Is it actually what I dislike and what I need to reassure myself that I have some kind of like limiting beliefs, or some kind of belief that some kind of illusion that I believe about what I actually in self-denial of? Or is it actually the person's fault? Like, if it's actually reality, if actually the person is doing something bad to me, right? You have to understand it, and you have to notice that. One thing you can know the difference is by knowing how reactive you are to it, your impulses and all. And then you know how to do it. And then you want to do the higher action, right? If you are if your partner is assertive and you feel that you dislike the assertiveness in your partner, the next time you want to be in and next time you want to improve on that behavior, on that trait, you want to have boundaries, right? You want to have healthy boundaries. You want to say to her, okay, I don't like that you're being super stern on me right now. I can also have boundaries. Let's separate first and let's reconnect after we understand what's the problem and after we're conscious of ourselves. You cannot just be decisive and command me what do I need to do and what do you need to do yourself, because I don't feel safe for that. So let's separate first and reconnect. Now that's what we can do. And lastly, as always, in every video I mention, is to surrender to God, is to let God heal you. You just do the higher action and you let go of attachment to whatever outcome that you put into this initiation of having boundaries, because only God knows how to control you, how to improve you. God works in mysterious ways. If you want to know more about healing the boy within, mastering your projected shadows, link down in the description below. Early users can actually tell me what guide that they need on, because I want to help a lot of people. I don't want to make a course or program that doesn't help people, right? You want to master your shadows. You want to heal the boy within so you be safe and secured in relationships. You want to master your shadows so you're conscious of your shadows that you have that like triggers you. Link in the description below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.